is successful actors, singers, football players, writers, and politicians are all examples of. 然后，所以有多个回答，要多个正确的回答。所以我提供了6个单词，然后我们可以用其中的几个来描述那样的人。所以 successful actors, singers, football players, writers, and politicians are all examples of. 已经有一些人回答，所以所以你要选从那6个单词中选出几个可以来描述那些人，就是成功的演员、歌手、足球运动员、作家、政治家，他们都是什么？他们都是 idols, stars, celebrities, superstars, famous people, good role models. 所以有这个是可以的，这个词是可以的，还有这个是不可以的。所以已经有几个人发了回答。OK， 所以第一个就是 Julia， 她是 stars, celebrities, famous people. Stars, celebrities, famous people. Julia 有一个错。Vera, celebrities, famous people, good role models. Celebrities, famous people, good role models. Vera 有一个错。还有另外一个人就是 Melina 好像，他是 celebrities, famous people. Cookie 也是 celebrities, famous people. 我自己已经忘记了，我看一下。So idols. Okay, sorry. Idols, no, they are not idols. Stars, nope, they are not stars. So politicians, for example, writers, they're not stars. Celebrities, yes, celebrities is right. So they can all be celebrities. Politicians, writers, football players, singers, actors, they can all be celebrities. Superstars, nope. Superstars is kind of like stars. So politicians are not superstars. Writers are not superstars. Famous people, yes, exactly. They are all famous people. So all of these successful people can be called famous people. The last one, good role models. No, because they might be good role models. You know, some are good role models. Some are not good role models. So, you know, some football players are good role models. They live a healthy life and they give good advice about how to be healthy, and they help to train children how to play football and stuff like that. They do a lot of good stuff. So they are good role models. But then some footballers, they do a lot of drugs, they party a lot, they beat their wives. You know, some footballers do bad things. Same with everybody. So they're not all good role models. But we can say if they are successful, we can say they are all celebrities. We can say they are all famous people. And so those are the right answers. So well done. Is that Melina? I think I can't remember your name. 我家的狗不喜欢你。所以你就是第一个回答对的。然后 Cookie 也回答对 ，Mia 也一样 ，Don 也对。Mia， 如 Mia 所说 ，Not all of them are good role models。对，有道理。Melissa，OK。所以第一个回答对的人是 Melissa。所以 Melissa， 如果你要来回答我们的 Part 1， 我们今天的 Part 1问题，你可以现在就说一下，然后我们马上就要开始练习 Part 1。All right. Okay, Melissa. Okay, 我在尝试开你的麦克风。有时候。
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, John.
Melissa, hello. Well done. Good answer. Good job. Okay. Okay, so this is your topic today. Your topic is all about famous people. Okay, all about famous people.
Okay.
Right. Have you ever met any?
Excuse me. I just heard my own voice.
Okay. You mean there's an echo?
No, it's gone.
Okay.
It's back. Okay.
Okay. Have you ever met any famous people?
Nope. No, I haven't met any of them.
Why?
Why? Because I live in a small city, and I don't have any chance to meet like famous people.
Which famous person would you most like to meet?
Oh my God, it must be One Direction. I love them. I was so obsessed with them like 4 or 5 years ago. That's the reason why I started learning English very, very hard.
Are international celebrities popular in your country?
I mean, it's like two groups of people in China. Like one group, they are more into international celebrities, and another group is more into like domestic celebrities. And I think the most important reason those people get divided because because the first group of people, they are more like master the English, and another group they don't.
Okay. Would you like to be famous?
No, I don't feel like to be famous because I don't think I have any special skills to share with people. But maybe maybe a couple of years ago, I learned some special skills that I can share with people. Then I will start to think about it.
Okay. Thanks, Melissa. All right. There were a lot of things you could improve in your answers there, Melissa.
Okay.
And I'm going to go through some of them, right? So the first one, have you ever met any famous people? So basically, you just said no, but that was all you said. So you said no, and you said one sentence to explain, no, I've never met any famous people or something like that. That's not enough, Melissa. That's not enough. That's not enough. You've got to give more information. So don't wait for the examiner to ask you why. So then I asked you why, and you said, well, it's because I live in a small city and whatever, and you told me the reason why. You should answer
the question first.
Yeah, okay. Give a full answer first. There's always a reason, okay? There's always a reason. So give the reason. Don't wait for the examiner to ask you why. Tell the examiner why before he or she asks you, right? That was number one. Number two, small little logical problem with number two. Question was, which famous person would you most like to meet? And you said One Direction. Do you know there's a little bit of a logical problem there. Do you know what it might be?
One Direction, there are like 5 people or 4 people.
Exactly. I'm not sure how many people, but I know there are more than one. There's more than one person in One Direction. So that's not one person. So it's a small problem, but it's still a problem because the question was which famous person.
Okay, I just said one person in particular.
Yeah, exactly. You could say, so if you have a favorite one, you could talk about that one. But another way you could say that, you could answer the same question, you could use the same answer, but give a grammatically correct answer. That would be, I'd most like to meet one of the people or one of the guys from One Direction. That would be fine. That would make perfect sense. I'd most like to meet one of the people from One Direction. Let's see, number 3. Question number 3, are international celebrities popular in your country? So your answer was okay, but you didn't. I didn't
answer that question, right?
Didn't really answer the question. So you said how there's 2 kinds of people, and that. So I think the answer is generally yes. I think it's probably are international celebrities popular in your country? So I think the answer is yes. And you said, well, there's one group of people that like international celebrities, and there's another group of people that are not interested in them. Well, that means yes, because if there's one group, if there's like half the people or there's a big number of people who are interested in them, then yes, that means they are popular. Okay? And the last one, just in your first sentence, there was a bit of a grammar mistake. So listen to the question again, okay, and just answer with one sentence this time, just one sentence, just for practice. Right?
Okay.
Would you like to be famous?
would you like to be famous? No, I don't. I don't like to. No. Okay.
So what if you let's say you want to say, let's say the answer is yes. Okay, how would you answer if you wanted to say yes? So would you like to be famous?
Yes, I would like.
Good. Yes, I would like to be famous. Yes. Okay, good. Yes, I would like to be famous. No, what's the opposite of would?
No, I wouldn't like to be.
Good. Okay, exactly. No, that's what you should have said. When you said earlier, you said no, I don't like. So no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't like to be famous. Okay.
Okay.
So those are the main points. There was one other little grammar thing in your third answer, and actually it's kind of a vocabulary thing, I suppose. You said about the group of people who like international celebrities. You said they are more master the English. They are more master the English. You're not using the word master correctly there.
They mastered English.
But what about more? You had more.
Much more. They mastered English much more.
That's a bit better. Yeah, that's a bit better. So probably you could say they are much better at English. They are much better at English, or probably. But if you want to use master, I suppose it's probably best to say that those are the ones who have mastered English, or those are the people who are much better at English. Okay.
Got it.
Thanks. All right, Melissa. Those are the main points. Thank you. Cool.
Yeah. Thank you, John.
All right. You're welcome. Okay. 所以我们已经有几个人举手了，但是还有其他人在看，所以如果你在看，应该举手一下，应该尝试回答这些问题，因为我已经发给这些问题，把这些问题发给你们，你们就可以在屏幕的右边看到。所以这就是今天最容易的，我们要回答的最容易的一些问题。所以如果你对自己的英语水平不是特别要自信、有信心，那这个 Part 1就是你今天最好的练习英语的机会，因为 Part 2会比 Part 1难一点，然后 Part 3会比 Part 2和 Part 1再难，所以现在就是你最好的练习英语的机会。如果你觉得自己的英语水平不是特别高，所以我再鼓励大家现在要举手一下。OK， 已经有6个人，不错，还有呢？ Okay, so I'm going to pick a random number, a random person. So I'm going to go with number 4.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name?
Hi, John.
Hello.
How
What's
about the voice?
It's good. Yeah, it's fine. What's your name?
My name is Owen.
Owen. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Owen. So question number 1. Have you ever met any famous people?
Oh, yes, I've met some famous people when I was a kid. There was a basketball game my mom taught me there. And when the game was over, and I met one of the basketball players, but I can't recall the name. And it was really impressive because at that time I was really small and little, and which makes those basketball players look like a giant to me. So that's pretty impressive. My first time met basketball player.
Okay. Which famous people would you most like to meet?
Which famous?
Sorry. I said that wrong.
Okay.
Sorry. Which famous person? Which famous person would you most like to meet?
If I had the chance, I'd like to meet Kobe Bryant, but as we know, he passed away because of a aircraft crash. So it's really a pity. But if I had a chance, I wanted to meet him in person.
Are international celebrities popular in your country?
I would say yes, because nowadays there are at first there are a lot of difference between Chinese celebrities and Western celebrities, and if there is an introduction of culture from the outside world, they will give you a kind of like cultural shock, and it is pretty fascinating because it's totally different and fresh, give you a sense of freshman. So yes, I would say they are popular.
Okay. Would you like to be famous?
Well, not exactly. I don't think I would want to be famous because there's always a price to pay before you become a famous person. Like you have to sacrifice. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your personal life because they're like a bunch of people, like paparazzo, who want to take photos from your life in a secret way and try to sell it for money. And I don't want to be treated like that. Sometimes I can feel I'm violated by those kind of behaviors. So I don't think I would want to be a famous person.
Thank you. Okay, Owen, well done. Pretty good. So good level of fluency, good pronunciation, and some good vocabulary in your answers. I'm going to share a few of the good things that you said there. So one was in the first answer, you said when the game was over. When the game was over, I went to talk to some of those basketball players. So that was good. Most people wouldn't express that correctly, but you expressed that correctly. Well done. Another good piece of vocabulary in the last one, your last answer was sacrifice your personal life. Good.
Sacrifice, yeah.
Okay, so you use that expression well. You use that accurately. So well done. Let's see, a couple of corrections. So in the first answer, so you were talking about meeting those basketball players, right, at the end of the game. And you explained the story well, and it was a good example of meeting a famous person. That was fine. But you said it was really impressive. I don't think it means impressive. How translate that back into Chinese for me, please. I want to see what you think impressive means.
因为那个时候我很小，然后也很矮，所以篮球运动员很高，所以 it's kind of impressed. 他们身高看起来在电视里面看的好像很矮，但是现实生活当中见到了会觉得好像是个巨人一样 ，like a giant.
所以但是你没有把那个你说到 impressed 的时候只用英文，所以我想知道的就是，如果你必须用中文表达那个意思，你会怎么说？
Well. At that time I was small, so but basketball players are very tall, but they don't look like what they do in TV. So I'm kind of impressed by their height. And size.
有没有其他人可以猜他说 impressive 的时候想表达的意思是什么？因为你还是在讲英文。我两次问你如何用中文表达的意思，然后你两次都
you mean Chinese? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. 所以有一些人说我很惊讶，印象深刻。我觉得你觉得就是印象深刻嘛？就是
印象深刻。
Okay. It was really impressive. Okay. Let's see. So you could say, so if it was that like 印象深刻, then it left a deep impression on me. Not really, it was really impressive.
Impression.
Yeah, a deep impression.
A deep impression. But what's the difference? But what's the difference between being impressed and left a deep impression?
To be impressed is like when you think something is really cool, or when you think something is fantastic. So generally, if you wanted to say 那些篮球运动员很棒, they were really impressive.
Because they're good at basketball skills.
Because they're good at basketball. Yeah. You could say, their basketball skills were impressive. or I was really impressed by them. 那个意思就是我觉得他们很棒，他们超级好。
Okay.
So right, but if you're so I think what you meant there was they left a deep impression on me.
Deep impression on me.
Okay, question number 2, bit of a logical problem. So question was, which famous person would you most like to meet? You said Kobe Bryant. Yeah, as you know, as we all know, and you said this in the answer. He's dead. So there are a lot of people in the world who are not dead. So for this question, talk about somebody who's not dead, somebody who's alive, because you can't meet Kobe Bryant. Sorry, that's impossible. So there's enough people in the world. Talk about somebody who's not dead. So don't use Kobe Bryant as an answer for this question. Talk about somebody who is still alive. That was number 2. In your answer to number 3, you said something about international celebrities. You said they would give you a sense of freshman. And there's no such expression in English. No. So can you think of another way to say that?
Something new, like exotic.
Okay. Maybe that's a good word. Yeah, maybe. So you might say something like international celebrities are more exotic, or they seem more exotic.
Exotic.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Right, and then the last one, just pronunciation problem.
Okay, the pronunciation, right?
Yeah, so just this word, you didn't quite know how to say this word, so it's paparazzi.
Paparazzi.
Yeah,
right.
paparazzi. Yeah. And I'm just going to check that I spelled that correctly.
Okay, thank you.
So, you're welcome.
Paparazzi.
Oh, I didn't spell that correctly. Sorry.
Paparazzo, right?
No, there's no O.
It's not O. Paparazzi.
No, trust me, the pronunciation is correct. Just my spelling wasn't correct. So it's spelled
paparazzi.
Like that. Yeah, paparazzi. Okay, thanks, Owen. Talk to you again. Bye-bye. Okay, let's get 1 or 2 more people. So again, I'm going to pick a random number. So this time I'm going to go with number 3.
Hi, John.
Hello, Sherry. Hello. Okay, so your first question. Have you ever met any famous people?
Oh, yes. Once in the subway, I ran into an idol who's very popular at the time. And because I'm not the girl who's crazy about idols, so I just don't have a special react. I just said to my friend, hey, it seems famous people. It's just like that.
Okay. Which famous person would you most like to meet?
Chris Evans. I mean, I'm a big fan of Marvel movies, and I really like the actor Captain America. And Chris Evans is so handsome.
Are international celebrities popular in your country?
Oh yes, I think so. Most international movie stars are popular in our country, and also some politicians, like Trump, Obama, and some other person.
Would you like to be famous?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I like to be successful, and I will try. I will do my best to be impressive in my area. But I don't want to lead a celebrity life. I mean, it's very stressful. I don't like that kind of life.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sherry. Okay. All right. So some good things there, Sherry. So there was one question where the logic wasn't right, but for the other 3 questions, so for questions 2 and 3 and 4, you had good logic. Your answers made sense, and you explained your answers pretty well, and you gave enough details to generally answer the question. So that was good. But anyway, let's talk about the one where your logic wasn't right. So The question was, have you ever met any famous people? Have you ever met any famous people? You didn't talk about meeting a famous person.
Oh, that's
You
not
talked
meeting.
about, no, that's not meeting, exactly. You saw a famous person. You saw a famous person. Isn't that right? Isn't that right?
So the meeting means I need to talk to him?
You do. You need to talk to that person, and that person needs to talk to you. Yeah. So a meeting is like an exchange almost. So yeah, you definitely need to talk to the person, and whatever, shake hands, maybe take a photo, whatever. But you definitely need to talk to the person. Yep.
So I guess it's not.
No, that wasn't. No, you did not. No, you didn't answer that question. So, and then the other thing is the word idle. Idle. So, yeah, idle. It's kind of like the way you're using it there is kind of like Asian English. It's like, I think it comes from Japan. In Japan, they're always talking about. I'm learning Japanese at the moment, and they're always talking about idols. Idols. Different people are idols. But when you put that word back into English, we don't use it like that. So the person who you saw on the subway, maybe they were a singer, maybe they were whatever, a singer or a pop star or something like that, and maybe they were a YouTuber or a video blogger or something like that. Probably mostly when people in Japan or China or Korea use the word idol, they're talking about a pop star, probably, as Toki says, a pop star. So is that what that person was? Were they like a singer in a band or something like that?
Yes, he's a singer and a dancer.
Okay, yeah, so it's a pop star, not really an idol. We use the word idol differently in like Western countries, English. So pop star would be fine. Or you could just use at the start of the class, I kind of introduced the words celebrity and famous person, celebrities, famous people. Those words are very good. Those words are very useful because they describe every kind of Ming there.
I have a question. I have a question, John. Is the celebrity, the word celebrity, a little formal?
No.
No, so you just use the celebrities to point to a dancer, a singer, when you chit chat with others.
When you chat with others, yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you're welcome. All right, cool. And then, right, there was in your second answer, there was a bit of a pronunciation mistake, which was this. So these two words together, you didn't quite get them out correctly. Do you want to try again?
Marvel movies.
Yeah, almost. I think you're not really hitting the V sound in Marvel.
Marvel movies.
Marvel. Yeah, good. Yeah, Marvel movies. Marvel movies.
Marvel movies. Oh, you have.
你以前纠正过我这个错误。Okay. So and then in the last answer, so you said I will do my best to be impressive in whatever in my I will do my best to be impressive in my area. So sorry, this might be my fault because I said that.
I know impressive is not correct here, but I just couldn't find the.
Okay.
Outstanding.
Okay. I think probably successful is probably the best. Yeah, I'll do my best to be successful.
I don't think it's that far. I mean, I want to have some little successful, but not that much. Is that successful too?
So what?
如果用汉语说的话，我想说的是，我希望在我的领域有所成就。
Okay, yeah, that's success. Yeah, so yeah, that's to be successful. To be successful. So to be successful has many meanings. It's not really related to being famous, but it can be kind of related. But to be successful just means it might mean you make a lot of money. It might mean you help a lot of people. It might mean you are famous. It might mean that you don't make a lot of money. Well, yeah, it probably means one of those things. Either you make a lot of money, or you help a lot of people, or you are famous, or maybe you do all those three things. And that's generally what we think about when we say being successful. Okay. Right. Okay. Good. And I just want to, so just for everybody, thanks, Sherry. Just for everybody else, in case you're kind of confused about what I said about impressive earlier. So impressive is like when you see something and you think, like when you see somebody doing a skill, and then you think, wow, 他很厉害. You can say, wow, he or she is impressive. or that's very impressive. 他们做的那件事情就很厉害. That's how we use it. So I don't know if maybe I confused people earlier. Mia has a question. She says, can she say, I want to be professional in my field? That doesn't really express that idea. To be professional, that kind of has two meanings. So one meaning is like for example, 你已经毕业了，然后你就在那个行业工作。So for example, if you study medicine and you graduate and then you get a job as a doctor, well, you are professional. You are a professional doctor. And that doesn't mean you're good or bad. It just means that you have that job. But then another meaning of professional is like 你办事情很专业，他工作很专业。Or like it's like kind of 很认真. So that's another meaning of professional. But again, that's not what Sherry was talking about there exactly. What Sherry was talking about was being successful. Okay. All right. Let's do one more for this. One more. So I'm going to pick another random number. Okay, I'm going to go with number 3.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
What's your
Koki.
name? Koki.
I'm Koki.
Okay.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
You too. Okay, cool. All right. So question number 1. Have you ever met any famous people?
Yes, I met a famous people in Korea, and he is a host. And when I met him, I was so nervous and. Okay, I took a picture with him and get his signature, and that made me feel my day.
Mm-hmm. Which famous people would you most like to meet?
I would choose Neil Gaiman. He's a writer, and I read a lot of his book, and I want to share my idea okay, wait. I want to share my idea and my feelings about his book and maybe get his signature. That's cool.
Okay. Are international celebrities popular in your country?
Yes, I think so. In my country, I think a lot of people love international celebrities, and because we can use internet to know them, so we find the difference between our country and international country. So I think it's popular in our country.
Would you like to be famous?
Yes, why not? If I'm famous, I think I can help a lot of people because I'm famous. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Cookie. So let's see. So just that last question, you didn't really give a full answer, and so you said one sentence. So remember, in part 1, except at the very start. So except at the beginning when the examiner asks you which city or which town or city do you come from, or do you live in a house or an apartment, or something like that. Except those questions, you always have to try and give at least 3 sentences, maybe at least 4 sentences in your answer. So one sentence is not enough, right? So that's one thing. And the other answers were okay. Okay, so you had some good sentences in all of your answers. And for the first 3, you generally gave enough information and you produced enough language. So, and you produced some good sentences. So that was good. But you have a few, there are some words, some English words that you're not exactly sure of the meaning in English, or you're just kind of using the wrong word sometimes. So, for example, in your first answer, so you talked about meeting somebody in Korea, and you said he is a host. He is a host. So that doesn't really make sense in English. Yeah, that doesn't, because a host can be a lot of different things. It could be like a host in a restaurant. It could be a host on TV. And I'm pretty sure you mean a TV show host, probably.
Yes.
That would mean. Okay, yeah. So we have to say that, and we can't just say a host because you can be a host of lots of things. So probably a TV show, and maybe it's a talk show host, but it doesn't matter. A TV show host covers that anyway. So probably the best thing to say is you had a TV show host, and
Yes,
the host can be a lot of different things in English.
Actually, I the first time I want to choose MC, but I don't think MC in English means a TV show host, so I choose host.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. MC, yeah, MC is kind of a different meaning. It's like at some kind of an event, and an event would be an MC. An event would have an MC, and so TV show host would be the right thing.
Okay, thank you.
And you said, let's see. So you had a few problems with nouns, and like nouns being countable and uncountable. For example, you said famous people. It should be
what?
So not famous people. So you said famous people.
Famous people.
There's no such thing as famous people. It should be famous.
Famous people.
No, that's not correct. So I'm sure some people at home know. So it's not famous people. It's so famous person. Yeah, thank you, Melissa. Yeah, famous person. Famous person.
Yes.
Yeah, you thought of that now. Okay.
I got it.
All right. Okay. You talked about Neil Gaiman. You said I have read a lot of his book. I've read a lot of his books. Should be
a lot of his books.
Exactly. Good. You said I wanted to share my idea.
My ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Okay. And then finally about Neil Gaiman, you said I want to get his signature.
Yeah.
So
get his
in English, yeah, no, that's not right. We don't get somebody. Well, you could get somebody's signature, but it has a different meaning. So in English, there's two main translations for like Chen Ming.
Oh, yes.
And if you go to the bank and you're filling out, if you go to the bank or if I go to the bank and we're filling out a form in the bank, then we write our signature. Okay, write our signature. But if we meet a famous person and we ask them, if we ask them that, they don't give us their signature. Does anybody at home know what is that word? So in English there's a different word for the signature that you get from a celebrity. There's a special word for that. Yes, thank you, Alice. Well done. So it's an autograph. Okay, and so it's to get an autograph, to get somebody's autograph. So that's what you get from a famous person, an autograph, not a signature. Okay. And the last thing, just in your third question, you said they use internet. They use internet to know this. So you forgot one word. There's a word that you need to use when almost every time that you use internet. There's a word that goes with internet. Anybody know? What's the word she left out there? So use internet to know them.
Use internet to know them. Oh, yes.
No, that's what you said. Sorry, Cookie, that's what you said. So that's wrong.
I thought you said
No, that's wrong. So it should be, so remember, Cookie, internet pretty much always takes a the. So it's always the internet. So almost never on its own. The only time internet might be on its own is when it's an adjective. If you're using internet as an adjective, then you might use it on its own. But when you're talking about the noun, it's the internet, on the internet. I learned it from the internet. I use the internet. I saw it on the internet. Don't forget the internet. Okay, thanks, Cookie.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Okay, cool. Okay, part one,所以我觉得 Mia, Don, Vera 你们都在讲没有机会回答，没关系。如果你 part two 也就说我肯定会开你们的麦克风，所以我记录你们的名字。 你也当别人 OK， 所以我们马上就要开始练习 Part 2， 但是我也要提醒大家，如果你要在12月份或者明年1月份考雅思，然后你有点担心口语水平不够好，你不知道拿不拿到你所需要的雅思口语分数，那你可以来参加我们 Learn with John 的口语小组课。我们从11月14号好像11月14号还空了一个位置，所以如果你今天就报名的话，你就可以保证你可以从那个时候开始学习，然后在那些课你每个礼拜都会跟我一起上一个小组课，每一节课就应该持续90分钟，但是一般来说我多一点讲课，所以一般来说会持续到2个小时。然后除了上课之外，我也在其他天给学生布置作业，所以其他天你也可以把你的英文语音发给我，然后我会听，我会给你反馈，我会纠正你的错误。所以那就是我们 Learn with John Learn with John 雅思口语小组课，如果你要参加的话，就可以联系Lin，就可以关注我公众号 Learn with John， 然后在那边就可以联系Lin，他会告诉你怎么报名参加那个课程。Okay. So let's move on to part 2, and first we're going to do our second challenge of the day. Right. So challenge number 2. So our topic today for part 2 is about countries. So our challenge is also about countries. So I'm going to send you a bunch of words in English, and you've got to tell me which of these words, and there are 9 words, which of these words is a country and which of the words is not a country. Just give me 1 second. So of these 9 words, some of them are countries, some of them are places, but they're not countries. Some of them are languages, so they're not, obviously a language is not a country. Some of them are nationalities, so that's not a country if it's a nationality. And some of them are countries. Okay, here we go. OK， 那边有9个单词，看起来有点奇怪，因为我不知道菲律宾为什么出现在右边，没关系，1、2、3、4、5，有9个，所以在那9个英语单词中，有一些是国家，但是还有一些不是国家，所以你们要做的就是看一下这些单词中哪一些是国家的名字。所以我们有 Africa, South America, France, South Africa, Bali, the Philippines, German, Colombia, Swiss。所以如果说其中有一些是国家，还有一些不是国家，就是语言或者国籍，还有一些是地方，但是不是国家，就是其他类型的地方。So Don is the first. Don is the first to answer. So America, there is no America. 我没有写了 America， 我只写了 so that 有 South America， 但是那9个词中没有 America。Mia 也回答了 ，Mia 不对 ，Mia 选了好像选了7个，5个都不对。Sorry, Mia. Sherry 选了5个有2个不对。Owen 欧文只说了3个，欧文也许是最聪明的。然后 Melissa、Cookie，no Cookie 不对，Don，Don 很好。Julia，太多，所以好像男的是地理和英语比较好的，因为我看的前两个回答对的人都是 Owen 和Don。Okay. So yeah, so Owen is the first one to get it right. So Owen, France, South Africa, the Philippines. France, South Africa, the Philippines. 那3个地方是国家，其他那些单词不是国家。So Africa 不是Africa 不是一个国家，不是一个国家。Africa 就是非洲，非洲包含好多国家，好像50多个国家。所以 Africa 本身不是一个国家。South America 也一样 ，South America 不是一个国家。所以South America 就是南美洲，在南美洲，我不知道有多少个国家，好像有11个、12个左右。但是南美洲本身不是一个国家 ，France 是一个国家 ，France 就是法国，那是一个国家。South Africa 南非那也是一个国家，所以 South Africa 就是非洲的一个国家。然后 South Africa 它有它自己的政府，它肯定是一个国家。巴厘就是巴厘岛，不是一个国家，它就是印度尼西亚的一个岛，所以它自己不是一个国家。The Philippines 就是菲律宾是一个国家，那就是一个国家。German 那是一个语言，德语，所以不是一个国家。那个国家就是 Germany。我们在上一个直播也谈论那个问题，所以德国就是 Germany。Colombia 也是一个国家，哥伦比亚，所以那就是南美洲的一个国家，哥伦比亚。然后最后一个 Swiss 不是一个国家，也不是一个语言，没有瑞士语那个语言，但是是一个国际，所以来自瑞士的人就是 Swiss people， 但是那个国家不是 Swiss， 那个国家是 Switzerland。Okay. So well done, Owen. So Owen, you can be the first person to answer our part 2 topic if you want to. So if you want to, you can be the first one to answer. So I'm going to send you guys the topic now. And today's topic is describe a country you would like to learn more about. Describe a country you would like to learn more about. 这个话题不是9月份出版的，是5月份出版的。但是那是5月份的 Part 2和 Part 3话题，他们还在现在的考试，然后他们直到12月底还是会出现在雅思考试，所以我们也应该练习这些话题。因为9月份出版的，我们已经在之前做过的那些直播全部都练习过，所以今天练习的是一个5月份会持续到12月份的话题，所以就是这个 Describe a country that you would like to learn more about. Okay, so I'll give you guys 1 minute to prepare. So take 1 minute of time to prepare this part 2 answer, and then I'm going to get a few people to respond. Okay. Time to prepare starts now. 所以你们现在有1分钟的准备这个话题的时间。 Okay. Time up. Okay. And I see Owen has already raised his hand, so I'm going to go with Owen first because he is the one who answered the question correctly first. So, all right, Owen.
Hi again.
Hello again.
Yeah.
Well done. Good geography.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so when you're ready, tell us about a country that you would like to learn more about.
Okay. Well, in terms of a country I would like to learn more about, it's definitely the US, America. And because America, as we know, is famous for its high technology and its culture. And when I was a little kid, the first American drama series I saw was called Friends. So that's probably the first time I encountered American culture. And as for what I've already known about the country, besides American drama series, another channel is through NBA. So I knew a lot of famous basketball players in America. And besides, I would like to know more about how it's possible to be a melting pot society in America, because we know that it attracts hundreds of talents from all walks of life, and I want to know how the society can be so capable of gathering so much talents at the same time. And that's pretty so much I want is a country I would like to learn more about.
Okay, thanks, Owen. All right, thanks. Okay, so let's see. That was like 1 minute 25. So that wasn't long enough.
25.
Yeah, so so one thing you've got to practice is you've got to practice speaking for the full 2 minutes, because in the exam, if that happens in the exam, your examiner is just going to say, can you tell me anything more about that? And then you're going to have to think of something else to say. And if you don't think of anything else to say, it's going to be really awkward, because you're going to have like 35 seconds of just sitting looking at the examiner. So it's important that you get
that would be a little bit awkward. Yeah,
it would be very awkward. Yeah, so when you're practicing these topics at home, or if you're practicing with a tutor or something, it's important to practice keeping going for at least 2 minutes. Okay.
All right.
Anyway, your answer was pretty good. So you had some good sentences and some good vocabulary in your answer. You explained it pretty well, and you did produce a lot of language in that 1 minute and 25 seconds. You produced a lot of sentences, so that was good. Let's see, there's a few little grammar things that you need to learn. So one is about the name of the country. So what is the name of the country that you were talking about?
The United States.
Exactly. It's the United States, the US, because you said it's definitely US. Don't forget the Don't forget the the.
Okay.
And it's the same. It's the same with NBA. So it's when we talk about NBA in English, it's always the NBA. The NBA.
The NBA. Okay.
Okay. So for example, you could say, I got to know a little bit about life in the USA by watching the NBA. The NBA in the USA. Let's see. Then you talked about one of the things you like about America. You said it's high technology. I like its high technology, or something like you mentioned. It's high technology.
Yeah, it's high technology.
That's not a mistake. That's not wrong, but it's not what native speakers usually say. So we don't usually say high technology. We usually say high. Yeah, other people have heard me talk about this before, I think.
High tech.
High tech, exactly. But it's not a noun. High tech is an adjective. Okay.
It's an adjective.
Yeah. So if you want to use a noun, we usually say something like either just technology or maybe advanced technology.
Like cutting edge technology.
Okay, that's good as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Advanced technology, cutting edge technology, modern technology, anything like that. And high technology is a word in English, but native speakers almost never use it. We usually use high tech, which is an adjective.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Next thing, so you talked about Friends. The problem is Friends is not really a drama series. Not a drama series.
Oh, yes, it's a sitcom. Okay.
Very good. Very good.
Yes.
A sitcom, or you could say a comedy series.
Yes, comedy series.
So what's the difference between a sitcom and a drama series, Owen?
Drama series is like a situation comedy.
No, a sitcom is situation comedy.
Yes, a sitcom is situation comedy, and the drama series is more like just a series of different genres and different types, like homicide or science or something like that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. A drama series is usually about some serious thing, about some serious thing. And and the drama series is not usually funny. It's not supposed to be.
It's fun. It's not funny usually.
Yeah, there might be some funny things that happen in the drama series, but the main point is not to make you laugh. The main point is to show you something.
Just a story.
Like, an interesting story. Exactly. Whereas
a series of a story. Okay.
A sitcom is funny. It should be funny. The point of a sitcom or the point of a comedy or a comedy series is to make you laugh. So Friends is a sitcom. Friends is a comedy series.
Okay, I see.
Julie is asking about Dian So that I guess that would just be a series, or a lot of it would be a drama series. But again, it depends on whether it's funny or not. If it's funny, then if it's supposed to be funny, then it's a comedy or a sitcom. And if it's not supposed to be funny, then you could just say a series or a drama series or something like that.
Okay, thank you.
And the last thing is just one thing that you didn't quite explain accurately, or it didn't sound natural. So you said about what you want to know about America. You said, I want to know more about how it's possible to be a melting pot society. I think you're trying to force so I know you've learned that word melting pot, and it's a good word, or a good expression, but you're trying to force it into the conversation when it's not natural in that situation. So you could say, we wouldn't say a melting pot society. We would say maybe a multicultural society.
Melting culture society.
No, multicultural.
A multicultural society.
Multicultural. Yeah. Multicultural society. So melting pot society, that's not really a collocation. It doesn't really go together.
Okay.
So yeah, that would have been better. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Owen. Good job.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's see. So I promised some people that I would go to them. So I'm going to go to let's see. I'm going to go to Mia next, and then Don is going to be next one.
Hi, John. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Mia. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, good to talk to you. Cool. Okay, Mia. So tell us about a country that you would like to know more about.
Okay. I'm start now.
Please. Yep.
The country I'd like to talk about is America. As we all know, America is a diverse country, and people in their country are exposed to different cultures, and there are a lot of high-touch industries in that country, and people worked in that field often communicate with others from different backgrounds. And the most thing I was interesting about this country is his film and television industry, because they always produce a lot of blockbuster films, and a lot of famous movie stars are in that country. I just love US TV series. So I think that is a most amazing industry that attracts me. 哦，不对，那个。Okay, that's fine. I
Okay,
and,
sorry, Mia, sorry. I'm gonna stop. I wanna give other people a chance. So you got,
okay, sorry, I'm a little bit nervous.
everybody's
but
nervous.
but
Okay.
I prepared a lot, but I'm a little nervous. Sorry.
But don't worry. Okay, so you got to about 1 minute 15 seconds. So yeah, you need to produce more language. I know if I gave you more time, you would have thought of something to say, but I don't want to wait too much for the other. I want to get more people to answer, so I kind of stopped you a bit early. Okay, so
I understand.
right, so Mia, the thing you need to work on is producing more accurate sentences. So there, in that 1 minute 15 seconds, you produced a lot of language and you produced a lot of sentences, and I could understand your points pretty much always, or almost always. I could understand your points, but you weren't producing any error-free sentences. So pretty much all of your sentences had some errors, or maybe one error or two errors. And so you've got to work a little bit on your accuracy. And how are you going to work on your accuracy? You're going to do it by doing a lot of listening practice, by doing a lot of reading, and by learning a lot of sentences through something like Anki or something like that. And so that's how you can improve your accuracy. Okay. So a couple of the main.
Oh, thank you.
Things. There was one sentence I didn't understand at the beginning. You said America is a something country. Do you remember what you said? What you were trying to say there? America is a. Hello, Mia. I think I've lost you. Mia, 你听得见吗？我听不到你说话。其他人可以听到 Mia 吗？可以听到我吗？ Oh, okay, Mia. Hello, Mia. Mia.
Hello. Sorry, I have a bad connection.
Okay, don't worry. Okay. Anyway, there was one time when you said America is a something country, and I didn't hear the word. America is a what? A what country? America is a.
Diversity.
Oh, okay.
多元化的 diversity.
Okay.
Diversity country.
No, we can't say it. So diversity is a noun. Diversity is a noun. And so I think what you probably, if you're saying 多元化, that word is diverse.
Like cultural society. Diverse.
Yeah, good. You could say a multicultural society. You could say a diverse, or culturally diverse.
Okay.
A culturally diverse society or a culturally diverse country. Okay. And there was another word that you didn't quite know how to pronounce, which is this word. We just talked about it. Do you know how to say this word?
High tech.
Yeah, good. That's it. High tech. Earlier you said high touch, and so you meant high tech. Okay. Let's see. And then one grammar mistake here. So you said the most thing I was interesting. Well, there's two mistakes actually. That the most thing I was interesting about. The most thing I was interesting about. Do you want to try that sentence again?
Sorry, I just heard that. Can you spell again? Can you say it again?
So you said the most thing I was interesting about.
I am interested about.
Good. Okay. Good. And it's not the most thing.
The thing.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I am interested about?
No, so we've got a few people. So 有没有其他人知道如何表达那个意思？就是我最感兴趣的一个方面，或者我觉得最有意思的一个方面。
Aspect. The aspect of the area.
So I see Alice has one idea. So she says, the thing I am most interested. You missed one word, Alice. Then Julia has an idea. The thing that I am most interested in.
Oh.
Well done. Yeah. Exactly, Julia. Yeah.
The thing
I am most interested
I'm
in.
most interested in.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh,
Okay. All right, Mia. Okay. Sure. Thank you. So you're welcome. All right. Okay. So who else? I said I was going to go to Don next. So I'm going to turn on Don's microphone. Hello, Don.
Good evening.
Hello. Hi. Okay, Don, when you're ready, you can start. Tell us about a country that you would like to know more about.
Okay, a country I'd like to know more about is Bahrain, because I have a friend, a classmate who comes from Bahrain, but she speaks English very well, and she didn't well the thing usually Muslim female used to wear the thing. Also, he's Muslim, and I also know that the alcohol is totally allowed in that country, and it's label countries like Saudi Arabia, like other Middle East countries. So that makes me want to learn more about the country, and that country has already hold some F1 grand prizes, and it has attracted so many international audience there, and another thing is expats are much more, the number of expats are more than the nationals, which is 55% or 56%. So that there must be some reason why this country could attract so many expats, so many immigrants to that country. And
Thank you, Don. Thank you. Okay, Don. Well done. That was so I let you talk there for over 90 seconds, and I think you could have talked for 2 minutes if I had let you talk more. So well done. You were able to keep going, and you produced some good sentences. You produced a lot of sentences. The first few sentences were very good. So your first 3 sentences, maybe 3 or 4 sentences, there weren't any mistakes that I noticed. So well done. It was a very good start to your answer. So that was good.
Thank you.
So yeah, so generally you produced some good sentences. I could understand your points. It was an interesting answer because yeah, if you give that answer in the exam, you're probably going to be the only candidate that the examiner is going to hear talking about Bahrain. So sometimes it's nice to hear a more unusual answer. So that was a bit more kind of unusual or uncommon. That was good. Let's see. There's a few things you need to change. Let's see. So you talked about the girl who's in your class, and you said she didn't wear the same Muslim things. So you're missing a noun there. What's a noun?
I just don't know how to say that thing that usually the Muslim female wear.
You don't need to know. You don't need to know that. You don't need to know how to say that. You just need to know how to say ifu. How would you say ifu?
The clothes.
Exactly. Yeah. So you could say she doesn't wear the same clothes as most Muslim women wear, or something like that. I'll write that for you.
Actually, I mean the thing, not the same. THING. It's mispronounced.
Oh, okay, right. You could say that, but okay, so you could say she doesn't wear the thing that most Muslim women wear, but I still think the way I'm saying it is better. She doesn't wear the same clothes, because the thing is clothes, is a type of, type of clothes.
Actually, she never wear that. She never wear that. She just like the normal girl.
Okay. Okay. And okay. So and then Julia is pointing out what the actual name of that piece of clothing is. And yeah, you're right, Julia. It's hijab. It's called a hijab. But you don't, I mean, if you know a hijab, great, that's fine. But if you don't know it, it doesn't matter. You can just say the clothes that Muslim women usually wear. And that's what most people would say.
Okay.
Let's see. So you said about Bahrain, how they have some of these, but you're not sure about the pronunciation.
The pronunciation.
So it's an you usually say a Formula One Grand Prix. So that's pre. Not, we don't pronounce. No. Forget about the X. The X is silent.
Okay.
So it's just like this. Grand Prix, a Grand Prix. So in Bahrain, every year they have a Formula One Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And then another time you said the number of expats are more than the nationals. The number of expats are more than the nationals. And so a couple of little problems there. One is it's not nationals. We wouldn't say nationals. We might say
citizens.
Okay, good. Yeah, maybe Bahrainian citizens, good. Or you could say locals or local people. That would be fine as well. But it's also, we wouldn't say the number are more than. We wouldn't say we wouldn't say it like that.
Larger than.
No, we probably wouldn't use number. We probably wouldn't use number.
The population.
So does anybody know how we might express this in English? So
Foreigners. There are more foreigners than.
Yes.
More expats.
Yes.
There are more expats than local people.
Exactly. Well done. Exactly. There are more than. So there are more expats than local people. There are more foreigners than local people. There are more foreigners than Bahrainian citizens, or anything like that would be okay. Okay. Thanks, Don. That was it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Good job. All right. Okay. Let's get one more person to do this part two. So I'm going to go with, let's see. I'll go with number 2 this time, Vera.
Hi, John. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Vera. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. So when you're ready, tell us about a country that you would like to know more about.
I'd like to know more about Italy. The first reason is that I love pizza very much, and I really want to try typical pizza in Italy. And another reason is I'm a big fan of Ferrari team of Formula One games. And as for why I find that countries interesting, I think there are lots of gorgeous bespoke pieces, and those kinds of modern architecture in Italy is quite attractive for me. So I really want to travel around Italy. I would like to learn more about like Italy's those buildings and you know, I really want to get a master of how do you say clothes, making clothes. So I wanna know more about Italy.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Vera. All right, so that was about 1 minute and 40 seconds. So you were struggling near the end there. You were struggling to think of things to say, but at least you made it to 1 minute and 40, and so you didn't do too bad. There were some other things you could have said that you didn't say. Like you could have talked about how you learned it. So you already know some things about Italy. How did you learn those things? Have you ever met anybody from Italy? When do you think you might go to Italy in the future? Do you think you ever really will go to Italy in the future? Is there anything you don't like about what you've learned about Italy? Do you think you would like to live in Italy, or would you just like to visit there for a short time? Would you like to learn Italian? Sometimes, there's a lot of things you could have talked about that would have helped you to get to the end of the 2 minutes. Okay, so one thing, so the most important thing is in IELTS, and this is advice for everybody. Everybody needs to listen to this advice. Don't use words that you're not familiar with using. Don't use words that you haven't practiced in conversation. Don't use words that you haven't, don't use words that you haven't heard native speakers use a lot of times. So in fairness, most of the time, thank you, Alice, most of the time, you did do that, most of the time. But there was one time where you tried to use an expression that just was completely not right. So you said, in Italy, I think you said there were lots of, you wanted to say gorgeous bespoke pieces. Gorgeous bespoke pieces. What do you mean, Vera? What are you trying to say there? What do you mean?
In Chinese, it's 高定服装.
Okay. Oh, so you mean 服装. So pieces, but pieces, pieces is not 服装. It's it's clothes. Clothing.
Clothes.
Yeah. So you could say, so what a native speaker would say is there's a lot of really cool clothing or clothes.
Cool clothes. I want to say those clothes were made for those designated people, those famous people.
Yeah, not designated people, maybe famous people, yeah, or models, maybe models or famous people or something like that, right? So here you were using an expression that had 3 words that you didn't know how to use. So one was gorgeous, you didn't pronounce that correctly. You said something like egregious or something like that. 2 was bespoke, and you said bespoke, and then pieces, you just didn't know what it meant really. So remember, try and say things a native speaker would say. Try and say things you've heard native speakers say a lot, and you definitely wouldn't hear native speakers say this in general conversation. So if you could avoid those mistakes, then you'd get a better score. Let's see. Another time you said you talked about something, I can't remember what, but you said it's quite attractive for me. Attractive for me. Attractive is not often used like that in English. It's used much more like the word like 吸引 is used very widely in Chinese, whereas the word attractive is not so much used in English, not as much. It's usually used when we're talking about a person. If we want to say 那个人很好看 or 那个人很性感, we might say that person is very attractive. He or she is very attractive. So whereas in Chinese speakers of English have a tendency to use attractive to talk about lots of different things that we wouldn't usually, in ways we wouldn't usually use it. So you could say, I'm very interested in, or that's what's interesting. I'm very interested in whatever, in that thing, or I'm very interested in Italy for that reason. Or you could say, that's what is the most interesting thing about Italy for me. Or maybe that is why I got interested in Italy or something like that. But it's better to avoid using attractive unless you're talking about a person who you think is good looking. Generally, it's better to do that. Okay. And then the last thing you said, I want to get a master of, and you couldn't quite think of the word, and so you said making clothes. So that's good. At least you explained what you meant. So even though you couldn't think of the right words exactly, you still used other words to explain what you meant. So that was good. But I guess what you mean is fashion design. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
设计师 in Chinese. 设计师
Yeah, design. Yeah, so fashion design. If because you're talking about clothes, right? Clothes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's fashion design. And to get a master's, now remember it's a master's. There's always an S. I know it sounds strange, but that's the way we say it. Master's in fashion design.
Okay.
I want to get a master's in fashion design. Okay. All right. Thanks, Vera.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome. Okay. 所以，我们还有一个挑战要做，我们还要练习 Part 3。所以我知道有一些人在等，但是我会尽量，在练习 Part 3的时候给大家一个说话的机会。所以我们开始 Part 3之前，我也要提醒大家，如果你在准备雅思，然后有一些 Part 2话题你就不清楚如何回答，然后你就基本上想知道如何一个英语母语人会回答那些 Part 2话题，你就可以，你就可以在这边，在那个小书包里，看我之前设计的、之前录制的、之前安排的，课程，那个就是考官约翰雅思口语 Part 2画本，那个就是99块钱，然后有所有9月份出版的，会从9月份到明年5月份可以出现的 Part 2话题，一共有25个，所以真的推荐大家去看和学习那个课程。Right， 然后我们还有一个条件要做，所以，我马上就要给大家发一些英语词语搭配，然后有一些是英语母语人真的会用的，然后有一些母语人不会用的，但是英语学生会用的，也许是错误的，或者也许是听上去不太对的。所以你们从这6个词组中有选哪一些是英语母语人会用的词语搭配？ So which of these collocations are commonly used by English native speakers? So you got so all of these have culture or cultural. They're all about kind of culture or something like that. So cultural exchange, is that an expression that native speakers would use? With the development of culture, is that an expression that native speakers would use? Culture shock, is that an expression that native speakers would use? Cultural differences, is that an expression that native speakers would use? The development of society, with the development of society, would native speakers say that? And finally, improve culture, would native speakers say that? 所以其中有几个母语人会用的词语搭配，还有一些母语人不会用的，所以你们自己要决定哪一些是母语人会用的。OK， 已经有一些人回答，就连说 cultural exchange, culture shock, cultural differences。Melissa说 cultural exchange, cultural differences. Ruby cultural differences,他说 cultural shock, so it's culture shock, not cultural shock. Owen cultural exchange, cultural shock. It's not cultural shock, it's culture shock. Cultural differences. Vinny cultural exchange, culture shock, cultural differences. Okay, cool. And let's see. So yeah, 我们已经有一些人回答对，包括 Vinny， 但是他不是第一个就是 Julia cultural exchange, culture shock, cultural differences， 他们都是英语母语人会用的词语搭配。然后其他3个英语母语人一般来说不会用，所以第一个就是 with the development of culture， 所以那个不是错的，但是我基本上从来不会听英语母语人用那个说法。很多在讲英语的中国人，因为经常在中文听到和读到类似随着文化的发达，或者 随着文化的发展或者随着学习的发展，他们在中文经常听到和读到那样表述，所以说英文的时候，那些表达就出来，然后英语母语人一般来说不会用那些词组，所以我们用的就是 cultural exchange、culture shock、cultural differences， 那三个是如果你经常听英语，你经常会听到的，包括 culture 的词语搭配。Okay, so well done, Julia. Well done, Julia, the first one to get that right. And so, Julia, if you want, you can be the first one to answer our part 3 questions. So yeah, she's already got her hand up. So let's go to Julia.
Hi,
so Julia, some questions. Hello. Some
Hi.
questions for you about. Some questions for you about countries in general. Sorry, not about countries. Sorry, about culture in general.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
So, what are the biggest problems people usually face when they start to work in a foreign country?
I guess the foremost problem they may encounter is the language barrier, because they have to work in a second language that they would probably not familiar with. Sometimes those workers, and especially those workers who work in high-tech they don't really know the foreign language well, and they are exchanged to another country, and they sometimes they may feel difficult. They may feel it difficult to communicate with colleagues and other people in daily life. Also, they may encounter other problems like yeah.
Thank you. So even though it can be difficult to work in a foreign country, do you think that everybody should try and do it at some time in their lives?
Well, I guess it depends on their own interests. So maybe sometimes some people, they don't feel it interest to work in another country. Then I think that's totally okay. And for those who are interested in working in a foreign country, then I think perhaps they would better to learn a foreign language well, and would better to be open to accept new ideas or new food in that country. So generally I think, yeah.
Can you understand the culture of a country if you never visit that country?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think you can really know culture about a country if you never visit there, because although we have the internet, we have TVs, and it can display lots of like programs or other channels that you where you can learn from that country. But if you have never been there, you can never talk to the people who live there. And to talk with the resident there is perhaps the most direct way to know that what is happening in that country. So I guess you will never know that country well if you've never been there.
Well done, Julia. Okay, good job. Very complete answers to all those questions. You gave a lot of information and a lot of ideas in your answers, and you produced a lot of language in each of those answers. So well done. And it was good. There's some good vocabulary as well. I want to highlight one thing that you said that was good: the language barrier. Yeah, so that's a good collocation. So you said that's one of the main problems that people who work in a new country come up against. So you explained that well. Well done. Let's see. You're the third person today though that has had problems with this word, the word high tech. So you said people who work in high tech. So do you know what the problem is there?
People who work in like high tech. I missed that word because I forgot how to.
Okay.
how to say that.
So what kind of word is high tech? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective? Is it a noun? Is it an adverb? What kind of word is it?
It's an adjective. I want to say like people who work as like engineers. They are working the like high tech working such kind of companies, or they are like high tech professionals, but they don't know very well the foreign language.
Okay.
Oh
yeah,
yes, industry.
So some people are saying in a high-tech industry, that would be good. Yeah, people who work in a high-tech industry. Ruby is saying in a high-tech company, that would be good as well. Or people who work in high-tech companies, that would be fine. Or you could just say people who work in technology. People who work in technology. That would be fine as well. Okay, because technology is a noun.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay. Let's see. In the second question. So I asked you about would it be good if everybody, or should everybody try and get the experience of working in another country? And you said they would be better to. I can't remember what you said. They would be better to go to another country or something like that. But there's no such expression as they would be better to. So how could you say? I think you're trying to say like how many guy. How would you say that?
It is better for them to learn a foreign language before they get to.
Yeah, almost. So it probably would be. It would be better. It would be better for them. It would be better for them to learn a foreign language before they go to another country. It would be better for them. And as one student here says, Nash says, that's a good way to say it. They should learn a foreign language before they go to another country. That would be good as well. Okay. And the last thing, just in your last question, you said about culture and how to learn about the culture of a country. You said to talk with the residents there. And so, first of all, so resident is countable, so it should be resident. But secondly, we wouldn't use residents. That's not the right word here. Not resident. And so we might say resident when we're talking about a particular building, like for example, the residents of that apartment building are all very rich. You might say that, but we wouldn't say, like if we're talking about a foreign country, we wouldn't say the residents there. So any other idea what we could say, Julia?
Locals.
Good, exactly. Locals. Local people, as Sherry says, are locals. Talk with the locals there. That would be accurate. Okay. So resident is usually when we're just talking about maybe people in a specific building. But if we're talking about the country, we wouldn't say the residents there. We could say the residents of that country, but that would be very formal, and nobody would say that in everyday speech. Okay. All right, thanks,
so
Julia.
John, I have a question.
Go ahead.
When can we use inhabitants as as 居民?
Yeah.
Because I haven't expressed that idea.
Almost never. So there is that word. I'm trying to think of when you can use it. Inhabitants. I think maybe one thing that's coming into my mind is if I'm talking about, if I was talking about people who lived like 50,000 years ago, like a long time ago, you could say, they were the first people to inhabit that island, and that island was inhabited by those people in the 600 or maybe
ancient people,
6,000 years ago or something like that. So that's one example, and it's difficult for me to think of other examples. It's very rarely used when you're talking about people. It's very rarely used. So I'd say the best time to use it is never. Probably there's never a good time to use it. Inhabitants. Until like you get to some specific situation where you know you're absolutely 100% sure that it's correct, then you can use it, but it's very rarely used. Okay, thanks, Julia. All right. Cool. Okay, so a couple of more people. Let's see. So I don't think we've heard from Vinny so far. Okay. I don't know what's happening with the PPP, but anyway, I'm going to go to Vinny next. Hello, Vinny.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, fine,
Vinny,
good.
Have you thought of a? So I talked to you last week, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you thought of a name yet?
Yeah, the name, yes. And I thought before, because this name is for my father, I think it's Treasure. So maybe I want to change. I don't want to change my name.
Okay. Do you want to change your
it's a big
gender?
problem.
If you don't want to change your name, you could change your gender.
Gender? Well,
Yeah.
you think the account I have is that a boy? I don't know.
No, but you've got a boy's name.
Okay, the gender. So
Yeah.
in the girl it's called Vincent.
No, a boy. No, Vinny and Vincent are the same. So Vinny is short for Vincent, and so Vinny
Okay.
basically means Vincent. It's like John and Jonathan. You know, they're pretty much, or John and Johnny. They're pretty much the same name, but they're both boys' names. Same with
Okay.
Vinny and Vincent. They're both boys' names. Okay. Anyway. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, so some more questions for you about foreign cultures. So, what do you think is the best way to learn about foreign culture?
Well, I think if you live in a place, in an environment which full of the native speaker, I think it's the best way for you to learn the foreign language. However, lot of us don't.
Sorry. Let's start this question again. What do you think is the best way to learn about foreign culture?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Learn the foreign cultures, as I said just now. If we live in the foreign country, it's the best way. But however, we don't have such conditions. So nowadays we have the internet, we have the technology. We can search a lot of the information about the foreign countries on the internet. So I think you can search the website of the place which you want to know. I think it's the best way for you.
Do you think the internet has generally made the gap between different countries' cultures wider or narrower?
I think it's narrow. Because nowadays, for as a netizens, we not only can surf the local website, and we also can see lots of information from the foreigners, from the local people. So in this case, at that time, we can exchange our cultures, we can exchange our information. So in this case, in this way, we can know more about the local culture. So I think the gap is being narrower than before, especially in the past 10 years. At that time, we don't have the advanced technology skills.
Okay. So do you think that we can learn valuable practical lessons for our own lives by learning about another country's culture?
Excuse me, sorry.
So do you think that we can learn anything practical, anything useful and practical that we can use in our own lives by learning about another country's culture?
Yes, as I said just now, the useful thing, well, maybe the local people in the foreign country, they will write down some useful articles, or they will exchange their technology on the line, on the net. So it's also useful for the people who want to learn their other countries' cultures. in this case, I think it's useful. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Vinny. All right. So let's see. So that last question there, you had a lot of trouble with. You didn't really answer that last question. So,
Yeah.
right. So I'm not sure if you didn't understand it or something, or maybe you just couldn't think of an answer. So let's look at the question again. So I just made that question up, so I can't remember exactly the wording of it, but it was something like, so can we learn anything useful and practical through learning about another country's culture? So let me say that one more time, and this time just listen and repeat. Okay, listen to what I'm saying and repeat it in English. Okay, so, can we learn anything useful and practical by learning about another country's culture?
Can we learn something useful and practical by learning about the other cultures?
About another country's culture. Okay, so you've generally got that. I think you've kind of understood that. I'm pretty sure. So how would we say that in Chinese?
Well, 我们能从其他文化中学到一些实际的有用的东西吗？
Okay, yeah, pretty much. As far as I'm concerned, that's right. So you understand that now. So you didn't really answer that question. So
yeah, at the first time I get mentioned.
Yeah. So any ideas about how you could answer that question now? Any ideas about things you could say to answer that question?
Well, as I said just now, yes. Because
give me some examples. Give me some examples.
There must some advantage in the other cultures, such as they are. Well, let me see.
Anybody at home, can you guys give us some examples? Vinny, you continue.
Okay. I would say their manner. I'm not sure if that was.
Not really a practical, useful thing. Somebody saying new lifestyle. That's not practical, specific, useful. Okay, so somebody saying about how parents and children interact. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah. And that's not really specific. You want to be more specific. Try and, as much as possible in part 3, try and be specific. And when you're given a specific answer, try and give a specific detailed. When you're given a specific question, try and give a specific detailed answer with specific example. Alice has a good one. Cooking, very simple, but it's true. You can learn. So cooking, that's something that you can practically use in your own life. It's part of another country's culture, and if you learn about that other country's culture, then you can start cooking the things that they cook in that country, and that's a practical thing that you can kind of learn and use in your own life. Somebody says learn about another mindset. Not practical. It's too vague, not specific enough. So I think the best idea we've got so far is cooking. Go on.
The ideology from the others, because I can cultivate my critical thinking. I can know more angles about
specific. Should be specific. Practical things that you can use in your life. So Lynn has another good example. Language. So cooking is one. Language is another one. Health. Things about health, like for example, in some areas in Japan, in Okinawa, for example, people live a very long time. So you can see what those people eat and how those people live, to know how you yourself can live for a long time. Let's see, what else? So it could be something about clothing, like for example, people in very cold countries, what kinds of clothes do they wear in those cold countries? And then you can think about, oh well, in winter in my country, I can wear those similar kinds of clothes, like for example, the hats that Russian people wear. They're extremely warm. So you can learn that, and then you can wear a similar kind of hat in your country. Somebody else is saying sports, and maybe sports, probably more exercise rather than sports, more exercise, different types of exercise, maybe sports, but probably more exercise. Because sports is not really a practical thing that you use in your life, but exercise is something that you use in your life. Vera is saying festival. Now, how can you use festival in your life? that doesn't make any sense. Sherry saying fashion. Okay, the fashion is probably, yeah, that is something that you use in your life. Julia saying dance. Okay, that's good. That's something that you can use in your life. You could learn the dance of that country, and dancing is healthy, so it's a practical thing that you can use in your life. Okay, so now we've got a lot of ideas about how to answer that kind of question. Okay, next thing. So in your second answer, I think you tried to use the word netizite or something like that. Even I'm not sure how to pronounce this word because English native speakers never use that word. I've just only ever seen Chinese people use that word as far as I'm concerned. So I think that as a netizite or something like that. So just say as somebody who uses the internet, as somebody who uses the internet.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that word in China about 5 years ago, and since that time, I've heard a few Chinese people use it, but I've never heard a native English speaker use that word netizite. So it's better to just not use that. Okay.
Okay, I got it.
So your first question was, let's see, it was what do you think is the best way to learn about a foreign culture? So you didn't understand it the first time, but you got it the second time. But then you didn't really answer the question. So you said the best way is to go to another country. That's fine. But then you said, but it might not be possible to go to another country, so you can learn about it on the internet. And then you started talking about learning it on the internet. But obviously that's not the best way. The question was, what is the best way? And so you said the best way is to go to that country. You should talk about that. Talk about why is that the best way. Don't talk about some other way. So the internet, that's another way. But it's not the best way. You just said that it's not the best way. So you shouldn't be spending all the time in your answer talking about it if it's not the best way. Okay. Yeah, and then let's see. In your answer, you said maybe we don't have such conditions. Maybe we don't have such conditions. So not maybe we don't have such conditions. Maybe we don't have the chance. We don't have the chance, or we don't have the opportunity to go to that country. Okay. We don't have the chance. We don't have the opportunity to go to that country. Okay, that was the main point. Those are the main points, Vinny. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, John. Thank you.
All right. So, okay. You're welcome. All right. I'm going to get one more student. So the only one who hasn't spoken so far is Ruby. So I'm going to go to Ruby.
John?
Hello, Ruby. Hi. Okay. All right. So, Ruby, some questions for you about foreign culture. So, what are the biggest problems that people usually have when they start working in a foreign country?
Well, I guess the first will be the language barrier, because when people go to a different circumstance, they have to adapt to the new style in the foreign country. Like they have to pay the bill, but sometimes maybe in their native country they pay it from the other way, and sometimes they have to try to get on well with their colleagues or their classmates. Maybe sometimes they have some difference about customs and some very useful, just when they get used to it, but in the other country they cannot use it, so it will be a great challenge for them to do it.
Okay, thank you. What kind of people are usually the best ones at adapting to a foreign country?
It's hard to say, because when people first it is the first time for people to go to a foreign country, maybe at first they all have some not very useful to the new lifestyle, but after maybe several years or several months, if someone very good at, maybe someone who have maybe they went to a different foreign country for sometimes, and for the next time if they also went to a different foreign country, they might better to just to get on well in the new circumstance. So maybe I guess if they have some experience about going to another country, they may also be better to be accustomed to the other foreign countries.
Okay. And do you think you can understand the country? Sorry. Do you think you can understand the culture of a country if you never go and visit that country?
Yeah, definitely. Nowadays we can use computers, or maybe this. Sometimes we watch the TV shows in this ways. Those social media will also show the cultures of a different country, and we might not have to go there to know about it, but by using those social media or news, we will learn the difference in the country about their religions, customs, and some very famous festivals. So it will also okay.
Okay, thanks, Ruby. All right, okay, well done. All right, so let's see. Your first answer was pretty good. Your third answer was pretty good. Your second answer, not as good. You had more mistakes in the second one, but
okay.
Overall, not bad, not bad. So the last answer there was quite good, and you had some good sentences. Most of your sentences had errors, but also a few good sentences.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm going to talk mainly about the second answer.
Yeah.
So let's see. So you said if they went to a foreign country for some times, they went to a foreign country for some times.
For some years, or maybe some time.
Exactly. Good. Yeah. Probably for some time, that would be the best. You could say for some years as well. That would be okay as well. Okay. Then you said if they have some, and you were trying to say this word, but you didn't get the pronunciation right.
Experience.
Good. Yeah. What you said sounded more like experiments. Experiments. So
okay.
To be experience. Yeah. If they have some experience. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Another time you said if they are not very useful to the new lifestyle. Not very useful to the new lifestyle. So not
get used to. Get used to.
So no. Not. So tell me the full sentence. Try the full sentence.
If they get used to the lifestyle.
But you said if they are not.
Or if they are not get used to.
No, so that's not right. Anybody know? So I think in Chinese you'd say
if
something.
If they
like,
are not used to.
Okay, good. Go again. So tell me the full sentence, Ruby. Good.
If they are not used to the new lifestyle.
Good, exactly. That is it. If they are not used to. So it's to be used to.
Be used to.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
If
be used to and get used to are the same meaning.
No, they're different.
No? Okay.
Oh, sorry, lifestyle. Okay, so be used to and get used to. They're different. It's maybe a little bit hard to explain how they're different, but they're quite different. So it's like, let me give you this example, Ruby. So Julie is explaining it here, so I think basically her basic idea is correct. But
okay.
Do you know what's the difference between to be fit and to get fit? To be fit and to get fit. Do you know what the difference is between those two things?
Oh, be fit will be fit result, and get fit is a process.
Oh, pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, exactly. And so to be fit, that's like in Chinese you say 一个状态，然后 to get fit, that's like 你做的所要为了得到那个状态的事情。So if somebody is trying to get fit, that means they are not fit. They are not fit. But then if somebody is fit, that means that 他们已经进入到那个状态。Okay, and it's the same with to be used to and to get used to. So if you are used to it, that means 你已经习惯做那件事情，或者对那件事情已经习惯了。Whereas to get used to something, that's like, again, it's, as you said about to get fit, that's the process of getting fit. So to get used to, that's the process of getting used to that thing. So it's 你从不习惯那个状态变到习惯那个过程就是 getting used to get used to.
Okay.
So I don't know if I've explained that to a point where you can
Yeah, I
or where
understand
everybody
it.
can understand it. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I hope everybody else understands it. But that's the
Okay.
basic difference. Okay,
Thank you.
so let's see. Anything else? Yeah, a couple of times you said those social media. So media is uncountable generally. So social media is
Okay.
uncountable.
Oh.
So how could we say that?
Social media. Those social media.
That's what you
Or
said.
maybe
So that's wrong.
those social media apps.
Good. Okay. Yeah. You could say those social media apps. You could say those social media platforms. Yeah. Well done, Sherry. Platforms. And
Okay.
those social media apps, those social media platforms, and those social media websites or something like that. Or you could just say on social media, something like that.
On social media. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That was it for you, Ruby. Thank you. Okay. You're welcome. All right. 所以 Ruby 就是我们今天的最后一个学生，我们已经上课了整整2个小时。所以呢，最后要提醒大家的一些事情就是，如果你想更好的准备你的雅思口语 Part 2，你可以下载我们 Learn with John， 就是考官约翰雅思口语 Part 2话本，99块钱，所有9月份出版的话题，我录制自己回答那些话题。然后也有文本，所以你可以听可以读，然后我们也有口语课，所以从10月中旬还有一个空位，所以如果你想跟我一起练习口语，你想我在每一节课听你讲英语，然后给你一些反馈，告诉你最大的英语口语问题是在哪里，然后如何来强化那些地方的话，可以练习练，然后来参加那个口语课写作，还有我们有不同的帮助大家准备雅思写作的产品，包括在这里在小书包里有一些，比如说有一个叫这是什么所以有一个你就可以把就是我的雅思写作训练营，在那个你可以把每个礼拜写3篇雅思作文，把那些作文发给我，我会修改，然后我在 QQ 会给你发1对1的反馈，然后还有不同类型的产品，你都可以在小书包里看。如果你学习其他语言，如果你学的语言不只是英语，你也要学另外一个语言，我真的推荐你上快速学会外语课程，或者如果你学习英语，那个课程也会有帮助。所以那个课程的目标就是帮助人在1年到3年之内，在任何一种外语达到一个很高的级别。为什么是1年到3年之内？因为有一些语言相对简单，比如说，如果你是普通话的母语人，然后你学习广东话，你也许会在1年不到就可以达到很高的级别。然后如果你去学习越南语，你也会觉得很简单。但是如果你想学的是匈牙利亚语，那肯定会需要相对长一点的时间，也许需要3年的努力，但是任何人都可以在3年之内，在任何一门外语得到很高的级别，然后我在那个课程就告诉大家如何做。All right, so let's see. Finally, we've got one question to answer before we go. So Alice wants to know, 可以说 as the society is developing? No, 基本上在英语 to develop， 然后 to develop 那个动词和 society 那个名词就不配。society 在英语我们不会觉得 society 是一个可以 develop 的事情，所以 yeah 我觉得我从来没有听说过那个英语表述。No， 我听说过好几次，但是都是中国人说的，所以我好像 基本上没有听到过英语母语人谈到 society developing。也许如果你在网上查看，你也许会看到一些例子，但是相信我们真的很少会那样说。我们基本上不会那样说。Alice 说可以说 society is changing. Yeah. Society can change. Society can change. 但是 develop 不是。然后Julia 想问关于 couture。couture 那个词 couture 我听说过，那个单词我听说过，但是连自己我也不太清楚是什么意思。所以 Julia 或者其他学生最好不用，因为如果我不知道是什么意思，那肯定不是一个英语母语人经常会用的词。所以如果你知道那个单词的意思的话，那很好。那你也许在阅读的时候，也许每年一次会看到那个词，然后你会知道那个词就是哪个意思。但是肯定不要在说话的时候尝试用那样的词，因为除非你已经有9分级别的英语，雅思9分级别，你很可能会错用那个词。所以最好不要用那些超级少见的单词。所以 Sherry 就想问如何表达社会发展。So Alice has a good idea. She says, as the country develops. Yeah, a country, I suppose, is something that can develop. So 社会发展. So yeah, as the country develops, as the country gets better, one thing that does develop in English is an economy. So we might say as the economy of a country develops. That's something that you might hear, but you wouldn't hear as society develops. So I think Alice's idea is the best one. As a country develops, that's probably the best way to kind of express the same idea as 社会发展，所以就社会的发展。然后Vera 直接说 marvelous clothes， no， 不要说 marvelous clothes， 不要说 marvelous。nice clothes, cool clothes, fashionable clothes. Fashionable, that's yeah， 母语人经常会说 fashionable clothes， 然后我们也会说 cool clothes or yeah, nice clothes。有很多问题。Let's see。Beauty management， OK， 现在我没有听说过。所以我真的不知道，因为没有听说过那样的专业，所以最好在 Google 搜一下。我自己也不是特别清楚，但是我肯定没有听说过 beauty management， 那个好像不对，所以最好在 Google 研究一下。Okay, we got to finish. We got to go. So thanks everybody. Thanks for taking part in this class, and I'll see you guys again next Thursday, same time, 7 p.m. Beijing time. See you guys. Bye bye. See you next time.